Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so we have this new construction. I believe this might be a deck, but I'm not 100% certain. But you can see it's covered patio section. Not aware of where it's physically at, but in any case, let's go into the overall dimensions first of all. So overall dimensions we have, I have 11 feet 6 inches from this point over here to the inside edge right here. And then we have 16 foot 5 inches from the outside edge to the outside edge. I have a height here, I believe it's actually approximately 7 foot 3 to the top edge here. And then it slopes down or slopes up here to the house itself at roughly 5 foot 6 inches, I believe is what it's supposed to be. I just have a little drop here, but that's not a big issue there. Let's see what else we have. We have a recessed or soffit type of rooftop here, or ceiling top here. And you can see my beams coming across here. That's just because I'm not certain how deep this is and what it's going to be made of. But in any case, I believe this is going to be 16 inches. Let's just throw that on here real quick. From here to this point here, yeah, we have 16 inches. And I think that's pretty much about it as far as the information I have. See if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. They did mention that the beams that are on top here are going to be 10 by 4 beams, and they're at 16 inch center to center. And so the clearance between the beams are going to be 12 inches essentially. And I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and look at what we can do as far as heater placement is concerned. And what I first want to show is mounting a few units on the ceiling here. Now these are 4,000 watt C series models. So C series being that the shape of the unit here has got the rounded edge over here. It's a single element, 4,000 watts, and I have them centered within the span from this point here to this point here. And also one thing is that this ceiling is sloped, as I had mentioned, and so you'd have to come up with a kind of a custom bracket. You want to make sure that the downhill side of the ceiling is at that 6 inch clearance area, so using the OEM bracket should be fine. And then also the fact that you're going to need to extend this one here. So if I was to kind of take this off for a moment and then just move this up, what you'd want to do is just basically bring this up. And now I have it at approximately 1 1/4 inch, and then you would just take a piece of stainless plate steel and place it so that you have the right dimension from this point here to this point here. And then you can make this so that it's physically level. A electric heater cannot be on a slope itself. The physical heater needs to be level. If it's on a slope, what'll end up happening is the element itself, as it heats up, it expands, and as it cools off, it contracts. And as it does that, it will go downhill if it's on a slope, and it will destroy itself within just a short period of time. So you need to make sure that you do have those level. The other thing is, I believe I have these at approximately, I want to say 7 feet distance apart, center to center. Let's see if I can pull that up here. Let's go right here to right here. And yeah, 7 feet center to center. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Now let's go ahead. I just have this seating position here. The seating position I have is just a couch, type of seating. It might be a table. I'm not 100% certain of that, but in any case, as long as it's a normal seating position, the 4,000 watt at this elevation of height, mounting height, should be okay for this type of seating. I have a standing person here, and I want to go ahead and show, if you're standing out here only, obviously this is going to be too hot if you're underneath the heater standing. But if you're sitting, this heater would be fine. 4,000 watt, you may want to have a control system on something like this because of the fact that, on, let's just say, 65, 70 degree days, you want to turn the heat on just a little bit, something of that nature. The intensity might be too hot for something like that. But on a 50 degree day, you probably want the heater on 100%. And you can see that the footprint of heat will really cover most of the entire space. So if there was a dining space that went from left to right here, you would be able to heat up the entire area as well. Let's see if there's anything else about this here. I think that's about it on this particular application. Let's go ahead and look at another type of application. Oh, I should also mention that we are, meeting the clearances to combustibles on this heater. We have 18-inch clearances from this edge here to this edge here, 6 inches on top, 6 inches from here to here on top. I can go ahead and show that as well. So this is your 6-inch clearance on top, and this is your 18-inch clearances on bottom, but there should be no issue with regards to that. If we looked at the overall length from this point here to this point here, we're looking at that 8'10". I want to make sure I have that straight, and I do. And yeah, so 8'10" should be no issue with regards to placing a heater in the center of the space like that. All right, so let's go ahead and turn that off and check out another option. So these are going to be called the slimline units. Slimline units are a little bit different in the shape, obviously. Also, the configuration from this point here to this point here is only 5 and I think it's 5-inch total. Let me just double check. Pull that up here. Yeah, 4 3/4 of an inch. And the other one, the distance on the other one was 8 inches. That's the difference on it. I have these mounted front and back. The reason I'm using this the slimline unit 4,000 watt again is because of the fact that I'm trying to keep it visually less visual as far as the dimensional size of the heater itself. So that's why I'm picking that unit itself. But let's go ahead and look at, I should say that we have a mounting height or a mounting on the ceiling, and because of that we are going to change this angle to a 30 degree. Now if I mounted it on here, it probably won't fit right, and so that's why I'm choosing the ceiling itself. And also from this point here to the edge here, I have 6 inches of clearance and 6 inches of clearance, just like this this side over here, from this point here to the backside wall here. And also this one here is slightly higher because of the elevation change. And let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So this is the footprint of heat, and you can see with a sitting position like this, you at 30 degree tilt, you have a very good coverage, pretty much though in the center of the unit itself, or the section, seating section itself. If I was to take this and let's put some geometry on here and just go ahead and look at the overall distance here, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can hit this point to roughly this point here. Sorry for the delay. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get to the actual dimensions here, but you can see here we're at 8 foot and 1 inch from this point here to this point here. And then you can see it goes wider over here. That's because this is infrared light waves. Infrared light waves travel through space, and they bend and stretch, and they'll continue until they are absorbed into a mass material, human body, floors, tables, chairs, anything of that nature. But this would be something that would work. Now, the reason I'm not placing them on this outer edge here is because of the fact that it would hang a little bit lower over here. And, you know, visually the angle itself would be offset from the slope of the ceiling area itself. That's why I'm choosing this. Again, 4,000 watt units, you'd probably want to have a control system, because especially if this is, you know, a separate type of seating position, dining, something of that nature, you're going to get some overlapping rays here. So you're going to want to, you know, control the heaters so that they're high, low, depending on how you are comfortable at that particular moment of time. But in any case, that is the second option. I kind of like the first option I showed. I'm not sure if there's a fan or anything of that nature, or ceiling lights, things of that nature up there. But yeah, this would be my second suggestion. And then if I had the ability to make a third suggestion, we would have to really change a lot of the construction. So this is called a flush mount unit, 4,000 watt. I really like this unit here. I'm going to place this over here just for a moment, and we're just going to center this within that span itself. This is not centered perfectly, but what I really want to show is the fact that, you know, a unit like this has to be level, and with the ceiling not, or I should say at a slope, we have an issue with regards to that. So that's why I'm not truly making this a particular recommendation on this application. So let's see if I can grab this here and move it a little bit more centrally located, and then we'll move this up. And what I want to show is the fact that, you know, this is going to be the downhill side edge. We need to have it level, and, you know, can you place this, you know, like this? It's not 100% certain that you can actually do this. So what I would say is, you know, there are brackets in here that you can lower one side a little bit further than the other to keep the heaters level. The manufacturer states that it cannot be placed on a slope ceiling, so I'm sure that has something to do with the amount of heat that is generated inside of the flush mount kit itself. And then the other thing I wanted to show really is that measurement that I had mentioned before, at you know, 12 inches of clearance from this point here to this point here. Let's go ahead and just put that back on here. You know, so we have 12 inches of clearance. What we really need is 13 inches of clearance. Now, another thing I could state is the fact that you know, some people have made what they call false ceilings, so that the ceiling is level, and that would work, except for the fact, again, that our distances here are not appropriate. So we don't have the ability to truly place this in here. We're about an inch off here, and we need a minimum of 13 inches from left to right here. However, you can see that if we were able to do something like this, and if I was to just move this heater, let's just say, you know, 3.5 feet to this side and 7 feet over here, the intensity is really well. We're not really covering the center section here very well, so probably move it over a little bit more. We'll go with 12 inches in, and this one here 12 inches in. But the, you know, visual application would look really nice if we had a flat ceiling. So but other than that, I have to take these off because that's not something that would physically work on this particular application at this time, unless there was some redesign as far as the ceiling itself. So going back to what we could do, which was the C-Series 4000 watt, or you could take these and change this to a slimline, the black units that I had shown before, like these over here. You could actually use that for the same position here, and that would be something that would work as well for this particular application. Again, control systems are something that is relatively important. So all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com, and please leave a comment, ask a question, and subscribe to our channel. We really would like that. It really helps our channel out, and we appreciate you doing so. Have an excellent day. Thank you.